morning. Let's see if the scale's open. I saw DOT today morning in OK Falls, so might be open. We are on Highway 97, as that sign there said. Going through Okanagan. Open! And there's double solid yellow lines here. But I went in and asked last time, and it's like the lines are still painted that way from when the day that the scale was open both directions.
Turn left on Highway 97, then take the first right.
Yeah, sign says proceed. He waved at me. Keep going slow until you're all the way past. Just in case he sees something at the back of the trailer or something that needs to be looked at. Now that Essential truck has brand new chains hanging on chain hangers.
Turn right on Highway 97.
A little bit slippery. So we unloaded OK Falls here, and I'm headed to Oyama to pick up a load there that's headed to Grand Forks. Not what I was told last week what I'd be doing today, so things change. Loads show up where there were no loads.
8 kilometers.
Loads that we had have disappeared. Different truck drivers that were supposed to be at a certain location aren't there. I know there was quite a few drivers on the highways on Saturday, so there may be a driver or two that says, nope, I didn't get home until Saturday night. I only had Sunday off. I'm taking Monday off as well. Head through Penticton. Home sweet home. I just don't get to stop and go home. I do have to stop in West Kelowna to pick up another paper logbook excuse me, for hours of service, because for some reason I can't get the e-log on this thing to work. And I just made it worse. In the morning, at least it fired up, but the touch screen and keyboard wasn't working. And now I got it to a point where it won't even start up. It's like, great. looking like it's snowing a little bit further north. And it's so windy and cold. It's only minus 14 right now. It was colder overnight. But still, minus 14 is cold. Especially when you threw all the straps on when it was not cold. Everything is frozen solid and wants to fight you. And fun and games. Besides Gaha Lake right now. If it wasn't windy, I think this lake would start freezing over, but it's windy enough that it's not going to. It'd have to be calm to start freezing. Yeah, it was a short weekend. We've got nothing new, nothing exciting to talk about. Hey, there's a bald eagle flying down at the bottom, right along the beach. It's kind of cool. Probably looking for some fish. It is going right along the coastline. Does a lake have a coastline, or is it just the beach? Here I know better than to stay in the granny lane. Because people will not let you merge into the hammer lane when I need to in just a little bit. I don't know why, but this section is always a problem.
700 meters. Turn left on Highway 97.
I think they should redesign this road that both lanes here turn, and that if you want to go straight, you have to actually merge off. Repaint these lines, redo these curbs so that both lanes turn over here. And if you want to go straight, you could just merge over one lane. I think that would be smoother here. Paint it so that the granny lane would just slowly merge over here, and that we would have remained in the granny lane the whole way. That'd be a much better design, less of a battle of fighting for a lane. It's pretty good this time of day, but there's certain times of day where it's just a disaster. the bridge to nowhere does finally have a place on the other side, so it does go to one location now. There's all these plans for a big mall on that side and everything, and it doesn't seem to be going fast. I don't know who's to blame there. I suspect the government's got a lot to do with that. It's all on native land, so it's got to be frustrating trying to get permits and stuff, and trying to get people to invest in a place that is hard to get permits. Everything is painfully long. Everything takes painfully long to get done because of the way the laws are designed to the law is skewed in favor of the settlers and not the native people. We're still doing it to them. I can turn those Jake brakes down. That'd make life a little easier, wouldn't that? Have Jake brakes on full with an empty load. Makes it a bit of a rougher ride. Rougher slowing down anyway. Now at least he's got an enclosed forklift. Temperatures like this, the poor guys that have an open forklift, oof. I saw where I dropped off this load, there's a couple of guys working outside. It's like, oh man, it's got to be miserable working in this kind of weather.
Turn left on Highway 97.
So guys, I was editing video on the weekend and going through stuff. I get why I get those comments of this guy's asking for it, he's driving too fast. Man, those videos look like I'm flying past places. Like the cattle. In the video, it felt like I was blowing past those cows. I was crawling. It's that wide angle lens that makes everything look like it's approaching really fast.
Turn left at the traffic light.
It's kind of hard to explain. With a wide angle lens, everything is a lot closer than it looks like on the video. So that corner ahead of us is actually a lot closer than it looks like in the video, which means that it feels like it comes towards us so very fast because of the wide angle lens. So at first I'm just like,
on Highway 97.
what are these idiots talking about? I'm too aggressive of a driver. I'm like, oh, when you actually stop and watch the video, holy smokes, it looks like I'm flying down the highway. So no, in real life, it feels like it's half the speed of the video. I assure you, I don't speed. I drive the speed limit, and very, very often under the speed limit. So, but I get it now, more so than I did before. I knew it felt faster on video, but when I was driving past those cattle, I'm like, this driver's insane blowing past cattle that quick. But I was crawling. So it feels even more fast when there's objects that are going to be very close that I'm passing. So other big rigs, cattle on the road, anything near the road, because it comes at you so fast because the wide angle lens makes it look like I'm a crazy, reckless, aggressive driver, and I'm not. Because if you watch my videos, it is rare that I'm the one passing other people. Other people are always faster than me. And they're not driving recklessly either. Like that pickup, he's just getting to the speed limit quicker than I am. Alright, into the wind along Okanagan Lake now. It's right beside us here. You'll see it pop out as soon as this fence ends. Beautiful drive. Oh, look at all the steam coming off of the lake. That is beautiful. Guys, keep an eye out for the Ogopogo. The Ogopogo lives in this lake. I have not yet seen the Ogopogo. I've seen some strange things in the lake that could have been the Ogopogo, but I can't confirm it was the Ogopogo. If you guys don't know what the Ogopogo monster is, think Loch Ness Monster. This is Loch Ness Monster's cousin. And there are some huge fish in this lake. It's a really deep lake. Quite windy. It's knocking me all over the place. Close that park down. I don't know why they closed the roadway. It's still a great place to park. I mean, we got the other place to park that's still open further back that we just passed, but still. This park is closed as well. People still pull into the front part of it and walk into the park in front of the gates type of thing and still walk into there. I've done it a couple of times. There were some swans on the beach. Bet they're regretting not flying further south. Hopefully it doesn't get cold enough to kill the geese and swans that haven't flown further south. There's two more swans there, sitting in the water. Park is still open, that's nice. Gates are all left open. What are you doing, car? So I suspect I'm going to take this load from Oyama to Grand Forks, and then I'll have a load going to the beach, and I'll be switching back to my truck. That is my suspicions. We shall see as the week unfolds. We should know tomorrow if that's what's going to go on. They've taken this orchard up. There's an old barn sitting way out there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Way to the right in this field on the right hand side. It's a protected barn. And it's really, really rotten out. So they're trying to figure out, they want to build a big development here. They're trying to figure out how to move that barn and restore it. My suggestion would be build the development around that barn, make that a park, and then restore that barn right where it is. Leave it there, don't move it, and build your complexes around it. I want to pass these guys because they're doing about 15 under the speed limit, but there's a climb coming right ahead, which means I'll be much slower than them. Oh, he's turning off. I should have passed. Oh well. Because I know I'll be slower than... This guy's still going way under speed limit too, but I'll be slower than they are climbing this hill, even though I'm empty. Climbing up into Summerland. Well, technically on paper, that little community we drove through is part of Summerland too. It's called something else, I just can't remember the name of it. Applejack ahead. Is it actually open this time of year? It says open, yeah. Okay, I'm like, slow car always worries me. I'm like, what are you doing? That's my another tip of the day. When should you turn your signal lights on? A very good time to turn your signal lights on is when you start slowing down. As soon as you take your foot off the throttle to start slowing down for a corner, the signal light should be on at that time. Unless it will create confusion if you have to pass a couple of roadways first. So if I wanted to turn at this corner, but there were a stop sign here, stop sign there, and there's a car waiting at those stop signs, wait till you've passed those stop signs to start signaling, or else they're going to go, hey, the guy's turning off into my driveway here, or into my roadway, and they go and cut me off, and then I slam into the side of them. So signal lights, use them as soon as you start slowing down, unless it will create confusion for the side roads. I wish this 100 kilometers started a little bit earlier. Okay, I got a feeling this guy's going to be slow again, or still going to be slow. It's pretty quick through town, but it seems like at highway speeds he's quite slow. Still Okanagan Lake. The lake goes all the way from Penticton to Vernon. Not along the highway. The highway actually goes across the lake and then goes away from, goes into a different valley to Vernon. But the actual lake does go all the way to Vernon. Man, normally everybody goes like 120 on this highway, and today people are slow. Maybe just the time of day. I don't drive down this highway this time of day usually. I'll watch that little ice line. A little under the speed limit around those corners just in case they were slippery. They were good. really don't want to pass you because you're only going 5 kilometers under the speed limit, but approximately, maybe more than 5 kilometers under the speed limit. But oh, signaling off. Okay. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be another long video, but I rarely have the opportunity to shoot the Okanagan Lake on good weather. And it's not great weather, but the sun is out-ish. Get a good view of the lake. Hopefully you guys are getting a good view of the lake. Just weird, me passing people. Of course, the second I say that, hey, I'm never passing people, I'm passing people today. Even downhill like this, I'm doing 102. Cruise control is holding me back. As soon as I'm flat over here, I'm doing 99 kilometers an hour. Speed limit's 100, so I'm actually doing 98 now. Click one up on the cruise control. There we go. 100. I think if I turn the camera that far that direction, you probably getting just the GPS in there, huh? We've had more snow, a lot more snow this year than last year, but our normal annual snowfall for this year, we're done. We are above our normal amount of snowfall. Basically, our snowpack has been met. We are now above average snowpack. Last year we had no snow and we're under the average snowpack, and we were worried about a drought, but had enough rain in the spring that took care of that. And this year, if it's going to keep going like this, we're going to have to worry about a flood, but maybe it'll start drying up now, and maybe we're done with the snow, especially now that it's really cold. Excuse me. Didn't have enough room to make the pass for this one, so doing 15 under the speed limit. Oh well, I guess I'll survive. I don't know if you guys can see Rattler's Island, but I think it's too far off to the right for you guys to see it. But a little island in the lake, or not Rattler, it's called Rattlesnake Island. apparently the home of Vilgapogo. Inconsistent speeds. Yay, my favorite. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. If you were just doing 80, fine, I can set my cruise control, but you're doing 75 in this section and 95 in the other sections. Like, oh well. I'm not really complaining. So far it's a good day, even though I'm freezing my booty off. Great, I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad move. Because the wipers are frozen up and didn't clear everything. Hopefully it evaporates. I think you guys still didn't get a good view because the camera's down lower where it did clean. Now it's frozen over, crystallized. That's okay, I got a good viewpoint out of my line of visions, but passenger side especially is just all wonky. Oh, there's a new rock chip on the passenger side I hadn't seen before. The sun must be hitting it just right. Huh, darn. Antlers Beach, very rocky, pebbly beach. It's not a sandy beach. Still a beautiful beach. I like coming here every now and then. You can watch a salmon run down this little creek here as well. There's also beautiful waterfalls down there. And to reinforce this beach over here, so they put a lot of rock along the side of the road because it was eroding the road. And they're talking about putting no post along here the whole way. Like, or just take away the magic of driving along the side of the lake if you had this concrete barrier all the way along it. But every year a car ends up driving into the lake, so that's why they're talking about putting up a barrier the whole way along. I wish people would just slow down a bit and not end up in the ditch as often, but hey, I end up in the ditch too, so I guess I can't complain about that either. think I'll call it a day. Welcome to Peachland. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed ride along Okanagan Lake. This is what I call home, at least for now. And thank you for everyone that hits a thumbs up. And especially thank you to everyone that drops in a comment. I really appreciate those. I read them all, reply to a whole bunch of them, so you guys rock. You really do. Thank you.